the Natural Future Cosmetic team with Shannon ABC and MTU Kerry, we're delighted to welcome our guest speaker today, Patricia Alamo, who is the Senior Regulatory Officer at Lynolife, and she's going to provide an overview of EU cosmetics regulations. And this is the 7th online event in the NACO series. So just a bit of background on Patricia. So she obtained her bachelor's degree in pharmacy in the cosmetic field at the Central University of Venezuela in 2008. In 2012, she obtained a master's degree in science and technology as a cosmetic specialist. She then worked in Venezuela as a formulator in Lemua Cosmeticos and Ponce and Benzo. And then she joined Jordan Cosmetics as a technical director and R&D developer in 2014. In 2017, she joined Cosmetic Creations in Mayo, which is now called Lynolife, as a formulation chemist. And in 2018 became senior formulation chemist. And then in 2021, she obtained a cosmetic safety assessor certification and a role change to senior regulatory officer at Lynolife. So we're delighted to have Patricia here with us today. And Patricia, I'll hand over to you there now to get started, if that's okay.
Yes, it's fine. Thank you. Thank you very much, team, for the presentation. And thank you for the invitation that you gave me to bring this information about the EU legislation. Okay, welcome everybody. Let me share the screen and please let me know if you can see the screen. There you are. Can you see the presentation?
Yes, that's fine, Patricia.
Okay, great. It's fine. Okay, we are going to talk today about the EU cosmetic regulation, as you know already from the title of the presentation. I mean, will be like briefly about every topic that it is in the legislation because I mean is quite big and it has so many steps and items in each article that needs to be considered. Okay, the agenda for today will be the legislation, the cosmetic legislation, that is the 1223 from 2009. Then we are going to talk just briefly about the regulation about non-food stuff that is related to the cosmetic regulation as well. Also, we are going to talk about the product information file, that is the PIF, then the safety assessment or the cosmetic product safety report, then the cosmetic product notification portal, the labeling requirements, at least, well, yes, briefly again, the CosIng, that is the website where we can see the inky names, the annexes, and well, so on. We are going to talk about this today as well. Claims for cosmetic products, Rapex, and then a brief introduction about the UK legislation after the Brexit. Okay, firstly about the cosmetic regulation, the one that is, I mean, that is approved now is this from 2009. And here we have so many articles that, of course, all of them are important. But firstly, we are going to talk about the definition of cosmetic product. This is so important because the cosmetic or your product must comply with some functionalities to be aligned with this legislation. If it's something different as what it is in this definition, that means that is follow under different legislation like biocides or medicines or medical devices, depend on the case, okay? Then cosmetic product, what it is a cosmetic product? It is a substance or mixture of substances that are intended to be in contact with the skin, okay? The epidermis or the hair system or the nails, lips, external genitals organs, or the teeth or oral cavity. If your product is not to be in contact with these areas that we are already talk about, is no a cosmetic product, will be another type of product that we need to figure out what it is, okay? And then also, this definition has two big parts. I mean, the body parts where we'll be in contact with, and also the functionality, okay? The functionality of this product must be like just cleaning, perfuming, changing their appearance, protecting the area, keeping them in good condition or correcting body odors. If it's something different to this, it's not a cosmetic, okay? Then, okay, article number 3. The article number 3 is related to the safety. And we need to be sure that every product placed on the market is aligned with the safety of this legislation, where, I mean, won't be hazard for the human, okay? And in that case, we need to be sure that the consumer understand that what this product is for, okay? And that's why we need to include, we need to be aligned with this directive about non-food stuff that we are going to talk about in the next slide. Then we need to have the labeling where that needs to comply. This needs to have mandatory information that must be there to ensure the safety of this cosmetic product, including the instructions for use and disposal of this product. Okay, talking about this non-food stuff directive. Okay, there you are. Is a regulation that talks about that every product that is not food can be similar to food. I mean, the form, odor, color, appearance, packaging, label, volume, or size cannot be similar to food to avoid confusion in the consumers with the consumers that they can think that is different and they can ingest it. Okay, this is more focused in for children's and for elderly people that can confuse the product and they can ingest it, causing suffocation, poisoning, perforation, or obstruction of the digestive tract. In this regard, we have 3 examples here. For example, this lovely cupcake that is a soap, yeah? This is not allowed, okay? Because it's easily to be confused with a food, okay? Then this burger, again, is another soap, and again can be confused and can be cause damage, okay? And then these products that are quite similar to soft drink or juice, yeah, juices, and this is not allowed. Even I got these examples from the Rapex system that we are going to talk later on today, and it's important to follow these instructions when you were designing your product. Okay, the article number 4 for the legislation. Okay, no, don't worry, we are not going to talk about every article, just the main ones. But this is important as well, the responsible person. The responsible person will be the person that needs to be responsible, of course, about everything related to the product, okay? They need to be aligned with the legislation. They need to comply with the legislation and be sure that the product is in aligned with everything, okay? In that regard, if something happened with the product, maybe undesirable effects or something and like a contamination or something where the product is on the market, the RP must cooperate with the authorities in case that they need to be, the product needs to be recalled or withdraw, and this is important. Anyway, if everything is fine with the product, anyway, the responsible person should be there, must be there, and they need to have all the information required that we are going to talk about now, updated, okay, for every cosmetic product that they place on the market. Okay, the legal requirements for a cosmetic product, it is before placing on the market, they need to establish a responsible person, okay? That is, this needs to be designated. Then the product information file needs to be compiled, including the safety assessment. Then the labeling needs to be aligned with the legislation. Then the RP or the responsible person must ensure that the claims for the products have the enough substantiation to claim them, okay? And the product must be notified in the portal, that is the European Commission portal, that is the CPNP, is Cosmetic Product Notification Portal. Then, once the product is in the market, the RP needs to keep updated the PIF, okay? Because the PIF is with some information, mandatory information before the product is placed on the market. But when the product is on the market, from the cosmetovigilance, we need to be sure that we are including the undesirable effects in this PIF, okay? Also, if something changed with the formula or even the packaging or the artwork, we need to be sure that we update this information in the PIF and also in the CPNP, okay, in the portal, in the cosmetic portal. And of course, if the legislation change, we need to be sure that the formulation is aligned with these new changes. For example, if they include a new substance in some of the annexes that we are going to talk about now, we need to be sure that we don't have that substance there, or that substance is already in the right percentage, or if it's not in the percentage as the new legislation we need to do a reformulation of the product. Okay, there are few legislation that are not cosmetic. I mean, some of them are related to cosmetic directly, but some of them are not. But anyway, we need to take in consideration them for if we are an RP or a cosmetic owner, brand owner. That is related to the claims, the regulation, the aerosol legislation that is slightly different is again, aerosols are cosmetic, but you have more requirements in the label, okay, in the labeling. No food stuff legislation is what we talked about a few minutes ago. Sunscreen claims is so important because here is not just that if you don't comply with the SPF or the labeling for sunscreen, it's not just that you don't have the efficacy that you require, it's also that you can have problems with the safety of the product because that can burn people, okay? Then the cosmetic iris regulation, and then important as well is the guideline on Annex 1, that is the guideline to follow and to build the safety assessment that is done from the toxicologist or the safety assessor. Okay, talking about the product information file. This is the dossier that every product that is placed on the market must have, okay? This PIF must be in the RP address, okay? Well, in the EU market, that means that is in the EU area, okay? And here we have these 5 big areas where we have the information required in this regard. Firstly, we have the description of the product. This includes the composition, integral composition, including the suppliers, the cast number, the inky breakdown. We have here as well the raw materials information from suppliers, the packaging information from suppliers. We have the specification of the product that is related to the appearance, viscosity, pH, SG of the product. And then the labeling information is there as well. Then we have the safety report, the safety assessment report, or it is the cosmetic product safety report. That is the evaluation from the toxicologist that they can say that the product is safe for human use, okay? And there you have, well, the evaluation with everything. We are going to go deeper in some slides anyway. And okay, that is the section number 2. Then the section number 3 relates to the method of manufacture. Then the section number 4 related to the claims that needs to be proved, and you need to have all the substantiation in this regard in your PIF. And then the data on animal testing. As we know from 2009, we can't test final product in animals. And then after that, no, that is from 2004. Yeah, 2004. Then 2009 was restricted. We can't use animal testing for raw materials as well. And that's why you need to be aligned in this regard about the data on animal testing. This information is, I got this information, I mean, this is in the regulation, and you can see that there. But HPRA, that is the Irish Authority for Cosmetics, they have a very good information in their website where you can see all these information that may be so maybe deep and is not user-friendly from the legislation. You can see these more with pictures and like graphs, and it's so good because it's for easy understanding. Okay, I will put the link anyway in the last slide. Okay, talking about the cosmetic product safety report. This is a safety assessment that must be included in the PIF, okay? This must be done by the toxicologist, a qualified toxicologist, and or qualified safety assessor, okay? This report has two main parts. The first one is with all the information that this assessor needs to do their to give their conclusion about the product. And the part B is related with this conclusion and the reasoning why they say this product is safe. And if they say this product is not safe, of course, you cannot place this product on the market. But what you can do is reformulate this product or adding some warnings in the labeling, depend on the case, is what the safety assessor recommends, is what you need to do to consider this product is safe. And then when you do these changes, you will have your approval in a way from the safety assessor. Okay, in this part A, you will have, well, all the information related to the product, that is the composition, the specification, the stability, including the microstability, okay, as necessary because some products don't require any microstability because they are not needed the preservation in them because they are considered low risk. You need to have the information about the impurities in the packaging material and also in the raw materials. You need to have defined your normal conditions for use, okay? If it's a shampoo, well, we know already. But if it's a mask, you need to define there what it is, the frequencies to be used, the area, the body part where you are going to use this product. The exposure to the cosmetic product, this is a calculation, and the exposure up to the substances, there are calculations that the safety assessor does related to the evaluation to see if the product is safe or is not safe. Then the toxicological profile for each substance. Then, well, you have your undesirable effect or serious undesirable effects if the product was already on the market, okay? If it's not, because it's a new product, you won't have that section there, but you must update this during the time, okay? And then you will have here another extra information related to patch test, ocular test, hypoallergenic test, or efficacy test in general. Then related to part B, it is the assessment conclusion, yeah, where the safety assessors say, okay, this is safe to use or it's not. And then you have your labeled warnings and instruction of use. The reasoning is there related to why the safety assessors say that this product is safe or is not, okay? And then something important as well is the assessor credentials, because as the safety assessor must be qualified, you need to prove that your safety assessor is in fact qualified to assess these type of products. Okay, then what is the information or documentation that we need to submit to the safety assessor that they can carry out this report? There are, of course, the information about the responsible person, contact details, manufacturer, because this will be included in this report. The integral composition of the formula, the whole formula with details, with everything. Then the raw materials documentation, that really it is the spec SDSs or the safety data sheet. Plus, in the case that is a perfume or an essential oil, you will need also the IFRA statement and the allergen declaration, okay? Then the packaging documentation, you need there the spec or the draw of the packaging, the SDS of the materials, and then also if the packaging is related to it's like recycling packaging, you need also a statement that this packaging is REACH compliant, okay? Because we need to be sure that the recycling bit and the design of this bottle or tube is okay and is allowed and is aligned with the legislation. Then you will have the testing, a stability test, that is the test that we do to prove that the formula is stable, of course. Then the compatibility, that it is the test that we do to check the interaction between the packaging and the formula and see if this works okay and there are no instabilities about this. Then PET, that is the product, the preservative efficacy test, that is the challenge test related to the micro, to be sure that the preservative that they are in the product are efficient. Then the certificates of analysis and the artwork. With this information, the safety assessor can carry out the report. Okay, then talking about cosmetic product notification portal. Okay, before you are going to place on the market your product, you must notify the product in this portal. Okay, for the very first time that you are like new brand on the market and you never placed any product before, and then for this case you need to go from the first step going to the second and the third, because you need to create an account and an EU login account there in the EU portal. Once you have this created, you can go through the SaaS, that is the portal where you need to create the information about the company and the RP, okay? And you will have there contact details, address, everything. And these two steps will be just for the very first time. Then if you have that created ready, when you are going to notify a new product, will be just step 3, okay? You will have your account login details and your password. And with that, you can go on step number 3. And then every time you go there, you will have this screen. And from here, you can go products, my notifications, that will be every notification that you already did, and then notify a product. And here you can go as notify a single component products or notify a multiple component product, depend on the case, okay? And from there, well, I won't go deeper because you need to go so many sections that you need to fill information there. And then you can get your PDF as the proof that you did already your notification, okay? What do you need to do this notification? You need your RP contact details, your responsible person contact details. This is to create the login account, and the organization can be there uploaded already. And for every new product, you need your frame formula that is not the breakdown. I mean, it's not every ingredient and the exact percentage. It's just with ranges, okay? If you have glycerin, water, some colorants, you will have glycerin between 1 and 5%, for example, if it is 3%, and so on. In that regard, you don't need to share your formula because, well, of course, it's confidential. And what you should have there is the ingredients that are restricted. You need to put the amount that you are using because, I mean, they cannot be used more than certain percentage, okay? Then you need your final artwork and the photograph of your product because you need all these documents to upload them in the portal, okay? The PIF is not here. I mean, you don't upload the PIF there. The PIF is just must be held by the responsible person. Just that, okay? Okay, different topic. Now we are going to talk about labeling requirements. This is a lovely picture that I took from the HPRA pack that I told you before. That is a lovely guide that you can go through and is so friendly that you can have good information for cosmetics, okay? What we have in the labeling. In the labeling, we have mandatory information that is what we are going to talk about now. Every information that is related to marketing it's not mandatory. You can put that there or not, it's fine. But if you put that information there, you need to have the evidence support of each claim that you are saying there, okay? But going back to the mandatory information, we need the function of the product, okay? In this case, well, shampoo, okay? Easy, no big deal. But yeah, sometimes it's face mask, and you need to specify the use, okay? The instructions. Then you need to put on the label the list of ingredients that will be from the most to the least and in an order, okay? With the INCI name. It's not the chemical name, it's the INCI name. And that name, you can get it from the CosIng website. We are going to go through now there. And anyway, in the documentation that you have from your supplier, your INCI name must be there, okay? Then you will have the warning or precautions. These are related to what the safety assessor indicate in the safety report, and you need to put that information there. It's so important for the safety of the product. Then you will have here in the bottom, you can see this small symbol that you can see a jar that is open. This is the period after opening symbol. And from this is depend on your product. If your product is stable and you can be sure that it's stable for more than 30 months, you must place this symbol there, okay? The PAO, that maybe is just 6 months after open, you need to throw away the product, or 12 months or 18 months, depend of the evaluation that you did for your product. But then if your product is not stable, so long, I mean, it's just less than 30 months, you must indicate the minimum date of durability. Okay, that's mean that you need to put if the manufacture date was today and was established that this will be stable for a year, you need to put the expiry date that will be in a year time. Okay. Then you need to put the information about the RP name and the address must be based in Europe. Okay, this is after the Brexit. Well, I mean, if it's UK, well, we are going to talk about that in a second. It's fine. But you need to have that information because there, if something happened with this product, the authorities can communicate to you and through that address, okay? Then you need to have the batch number and the nominal or the nominal weight or volume, depend on if you have your products on gram or milliliters. Then depend on your packaging, because it's easy. If it's just one packaging, fair enough, we have all the information there, it's fine. But if you have two packaging, I mean outer packaging, inner packaging, or secondary packaging, primary packaging, you need to have the information placed in the two of them, but it's not mandatory for the two. The primary packaging is the packaging that is in contact with the formula, the bottle, the tube, the jar. Then the secondary packaging is the carton that you have there, like for better explanation or marketing stuff, that you that is with your product as well. Okay. All the information that we talk about in the last slide must be in both packaging. Okay. Just the batch number and the ingredient declaration can be just in the secondary packaging, okay? Because usually these, maybe you have more space in this one, of course, and you can place that information there. Anyway, there are some exceptions that you can go through and related to free samples or related to when the product is too small. There are some considerations that can allow to you do different to this, what it is here, like a normal product, okay? Okay, CosIng. This is the website where you can see the inky names, okay? You type on Google CosIng and you can find it easily. And here you put the name and you can find here the inky name, the CAS number, the EC number, and also the restriction, if any, okay? If the ingredient is restricted to don't be used more than 1%, you can find this information here. Also here on the left, you can see the annexes, okay, that we are going to talk about this now. Okay, for the cosmetic industry, we use more than 19,000 ingredients, but there are some that are very regulated. And some of them are in some annexes, okay? We have the Annex 2, that it is the substances that we cannot use in the cosmetic products. They are more than 1,600 more or less substances. And why we cannot use them? Because or they are inactive for medicines. I mean, they have like a pharma activity. We cannot use that in a cosmetic, or they are CMR, that we are going to explain this now in the next slide. Or I mean, there are some kind of dangers, okay, for the human. Then the Annex 3, we have some ingredients that may be used in cosmetics, but with some restrictions. The restrictions are related to the percentage of use or related to the conditions. I mean, maybe it's just an ingredient that can be used in rinse off products, but cannot be used in leave on products, okay? Rinse off, of course, the product that you wash off after using, and the leave on that you can leave on your skin longer, okay? You can leave there. Then we have the Annex 4, that is related to the positive list of coloring agents, including the hair dyes. Then Annex 5, that is related to the preservatives that are allowed to be used in cosmetic products. And then for sunscreen, we have the Annex 6 related to UV filters and the percentage that can be used in the sunscreen products, okay? Then CMR. These CMR are the substances that, okay, the C is related to carcinogenic and mutagenic, and R is related to reprotoxicity, okay? If the SCCS see that something can follow in one of the three categories, they will fall this substance under the Annex 2. As you cannot use this in cosmetic, okay? Depend on how proved is this effect, they can put the category for 1A, 1B, or 2, but anyway, they put this as a CMR, and you cannot have these substances in your product, okay? This is the case as, for example, heavy metals, okay? That's why you can have them there. And if you have it, because some raw materials cannot be, you don't have the, you can be avoid having them there, okay, for the manufacturing process or so, but they needs to be justified. Okay, this is an important topic as well from Article 20 related to the claims, okay? Every claim that we say in a cosmetic must be proved, okay? What is a claim? A claim is every communication that we say from that cosmetic, even if it is in the labeling or with the website or from the television or in newspaper or everything, or from advertising that we say for that cosmetic is a claim. And we need to have all the evidence support to say that that claim is true, okay? For this topic, we are going to be aligned with the Commission regulation, that is the 655 from 2013, and the list of common criteria for claims, okay? This is a technical document that you can easily download from Google, okay, from internet. Then there are 6 claims. There are 6 common criteria to be aligned with these claims, okay? One is the legal compliance, then the truthfulness, then evidential support, honesty, fairness, and information decision making. We are going to go through one by one. Okay, then, okay, legal compliance. About legal compliance, this is that you can't say in the product or the labeling or the advertising that, for example, this product complies with provision of the EU cosmetic legislation. You can say that because for sure the product must be aligned with the legislation. Even you can say this product is safe because the product must be safe. Also, you can say, for example, this product does not contain hydroquinone because that is in Annex 2, and you can't use that at all in cosmetic products, okay? Yeah, the idea is clear in this regard, that you can put anything there that for sure needs to be like that from the legislation. Then related to truthfulness, you can say that it's silicone free if you have silicone in your product. I mean, this is completely common sense and related to ethical stuff, of course. Then this is important as well, because here you can have in your advertising or in your labeling explicit information or implicit information. For example, an implicit information is a picture, okay? And if you have a picture that say, for example, that product doesn't contain honey or doesn't contain aloe vera, but then you have a lovely picture with aloe vera there, that is not true, okay? That's why you need to be sure that everything that is in your label and advertising is okay and complies with these common criteria. Then again, if your product was tested for hydration and this is just 24 hours hydration and you say 48 hours hydration in your claims, of course, that is not true. Okay, this is so important from these common criteria is related to the evidential support. Everything that you say in your labeling needs to be support, must be support for testing that you already did or scientific evidence that show that that ingredient does that specific or has that specific property. And also, if you carry out a test, this test must be in a qualified laboratory and, of course, valid and reliable. Okay. And well, this is so important. And here in the bottom, in particular for claims where lack of efficacy may cause a safety problems. that is related to sunscreen, okay? Because it's not, for example, an anti-aging face cream. If it is not anti-aging, okay, fair enough. The customer won't be happy, but it's no more than that. But if it's related to sunscreen, the consumer can be burned, and that is not okay and no ethical, of course. Okay, honesty. Okay, well, of course, if, for example, they claim 1 million consumers prefer this product and you just sold 1 million units. You know, how you know that the 1 million prefer this product? You don't have the support to prove this, okay? Also, if you say that the formula was reformulated and now was improved, you need to demonstrate that, okay? It's not just that you can say that, okay? And related to fairness, okay, it's related to the competitors that you can say that this is better from the brand X or Y. You can say that because it's not fair. And it's like in the second paragraph that you can say like, contrary to the product X, this product does not contain ingredients which is known to be irritating. You can say that. Maybe in another countries you can say, but under the EU legislation, you can't say that. Okay, informed decision making. You must have the information that the consumer can have all there, that they can decide if they want to go with that product or not. Okay, for example, oh, there are no here the examples. Is okay, but for example, if it is something like, okay, alcohol-free mouthwash, yeah, mouthwash that is related to products to be used for the whole family, okay, and it's good. You can say that because the family can, I mean, the person can choose if they want with alcohol or without alcohol, and it's okay. But you say alcohol free, but it's not because alcohol is bad or is banned or is danger. No, it's because you can choose and that can address your decision, okay? I will explain this a little bit more in the free from claims section, okay? Now it's so common saying that free from claims, okay? It's like, this is free from parabens, this is free from alcohol, from silicones, from sulfates. It's like we are in that trend at the moment, and sometimes it's not aligned with the legislation. For example, free from corticosteroid. This is there are substances that can be used in cosmetics. That's why you can say that, because from legal compliance, of course, a cosmetic product cannot have corticosteroids, okay? Or hydroquinone or paracetamol or another ingredient, okay? Then truthfulness. For example, a claim that say free from formaldehyde is not allowed because, well, it is allowed if you can prove that is not in your product, okay? Because there are some substances that are allowed to be used in cosmetic that can release these ingredients. And there you will have formaldehyde there, okay? Then evidence support. Okay, if you say that you don't have an ingredient there, you need to have the testing to support that, okay? Then honesty, okay, related to the free from preservative, okay? We have Annex 5, where we have all the preservatives that can be used in cosmetics. But if we have another ingredient that can have properties against microorganisms, we can say free from preservative, because that ingredient, even if it's not in the Annex 5, it is a preservative because this does this functionality. That's why we can say free from preservative, okay? Then related to fairness, for example, free from parabens. The parabens are a preservative that they are allowed to be used in cosmetics, and they are considered safe from condition of use and from some restrictions, okay? And in that regard, we can say free from parabens because we are saying that the legislation is not safe and they don't know what they are saying. You know what I mean? I mean, you cannot claim something free from that is already approved, that is safe from the SCCS, okay? Then, okay, informed decision making is what we talked about in the last slide, related to, you can say free from animal derived ingredients for vegans, it's fine saying that, free from alcohol, but if the product is intended to use in family products, but not as the fairness, okay? Because alcohol is already approved to be used in cosmetic and it's okay, it's safe. Okay, then we are going to talk briefly about Rapex. Okay, claims are done. All the information is inside the technical document. You can go deeper about that there, okay? Now we are going to talk about Rapex, that is the EU Rapid Alert System for Dangerous Non-Food Products, okay? The EU Commission has a system where they evaluate the products that are on the market, even if they are cosmetic or not. We are going to be focusing cosmetic, of course, and they publish every week a report with the products that they consider are not aligned with the legislation. Okay, there this is as well. You can find that as well in the HPRA weekly report, and there you can see why that product is not aligned with the legislation and this not compliant with the legislation. We have two examples here from the August this year from that report. For example, here we can see an hair detangler that from microbiological reasons, this is not aligned with the legislation because the is out of spec. Okay, we have more bacteria here than what is allowed for products for kids and for this type of products. And you can see there the country of origin. Then you can see the actions that needs to be taken as recalling or withdraw, or even, well, for microbiological, of course, is recall. But if it's something that is missing a warning, you will have the actions there on the bottom, like this warning must be added in the labeling, for example. Then we have another example that is a cosmetic face mask that for chemical reasons is not aligned with the legislation. This product has Lilial, that is butylphenyl methylpropional, that was a substance, that it is a substance that we used to use in fragrances, but was banned from the last year, or 2020, I think. And these can't be used anymore in cosmetic, okay? But the good thing here is that you can evaluate the products. I mean, you can see the products on the market and why they are in risk, or why they need to be recalled. And in that regard, you can be aware that if your product is okay with this, you will be safe. Okay, I mean, it's good to have that information. Okay, and then finally, after we go through the EU legislation, we are going to go through the UK market legislation. Well, so briefly, really, is just a summary after the Brexit, what the difference are related to what used to be from the UK when they were in the EU, um, in the European market. Okay, firstly, from the 1st of January 2021, they need to comply with the regulation that we already have in the EU, is the same, but also with the cosmetic products enforcement regulation from 2013. Okay, but they need to do, and we need to do as a EU market as well, some changes in the label, and we are going to go through this in a second. Okay, for compliance with the UK cosmetic regulation, the RP, or the responsible person, must be located in the UK, okay, including Northern Ireland. Then, for compliance with the EU cosmetic regulation, the RP must be located in the EU or Northern Ireland, okay? For both the UK and the EU, the RP is generally the manufacturer or the brand owner or the importer, okay? Because the legislation say this, okay? All this information was taken from the CTPA. You can go there through the website and have a look of this information about this new way to do stuff after Brexit. Okay, a change that really is the main change that we had is like now every product from the UK that must be placed in the EU must have the EU address and the EU, I mean the EU RP address and the EU RP name, okay? Here, okay, there are three ways that we can do this. If it is a UK-based company that wants to sell products in the EU or Northern Ireland, they can open an office in the EU or in the Northern Ireland, or they can contract a third-party RP provider, or they can contract an importer in EU, okay? This happened exactly the same in the other way around. I mean, if it is the EU-based company and wants to place the product in the UK market, they need to go through these three ways. Exactly. Exactly. Okay. The legislation, okay, the UK market, the UK legislation will be same for the EU, I mean exactly same until December 2020. After that, if something is banned in the EU or is restricted in the EU, that won't apply in the UK market because they will follow different legislation after that. I mean, they will have their own safety commission, how I say, consortium that they can figure out if those substances will be banned or not. Okay, they will be their own decisions. But about safety assessor, must be qualified safety assessor that their qualification has been recognized as equivalent in the UK. Okay, and but there is no process, a formal recognition process to be sure that this is like that. That's mean that, I mean, you need to be careful when you approved or you hire a safety assessor for your product, okay? Okay, well, this is the end. There are the sources where I got the information. You can have a look of them and go deeper in everything that I told you, because as I told you, it's just briefly information, but if you need more information, you can go through them. And well, thank you very much. And I hope you are still there. Thank you very much. And if you have any question, yeah, you can let me know.
Patricia, listen, that's great. Thanks very much for that. And certainly a really important area for cosmetics companies to be aware of and to get information on. So thanks very much for a very informative presentation there. So just as you mentioned, though, just questions then. So are there any questions from people in the audience there? And you can, say, put them into the chat box there, raise your hand if you've got any specific questions. I possibly could be that you've answered a lot of them during the presentation, Patricia. Just one that I had there just around the claim support, because obviously there's a lot of R&D performing organisations in Ireland based in universities and research centres that companies can access through different state-funded programmes. And just, I suppose, that what's the level of of R&D that's required to support claims? Is it just, there's a reasonably designed experiment, or does there need to be certain guidelines followed to make sure that it's appropriate for making claims?
Yeah, well, the thing is that the testing that you carry out must prove that what you are saying in the claim. I mean, you can design your own protocol, but if the conclusion can be reproducible and you can do again that test and that confirm that in fairness that is anti-aging or anti-wrinkle or what is the claim that you want to put in the label, that will be enough. But needs to be a valid test, and yes, the conclusion needs to be reproducible in a way if someone takes the product and do again the same test. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Kieran, I see you've got a question there.
Yeah, I've actually got two. The first relates to the cosmetic product safety report, and my understanding now is that makes specific reference to the packaging, say the dispenser or the container the cosmetic is in. The manufacturer does that safety report. What happens if you come along with your own dispenser? Does that report have to be redone by the manufacturer?
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
every time you do a change,
Yeah.
even of a raw material or formulation or packaging,
Yeah.
you need to assess again your product to
Okay.
have the green light that, okay, fair enough, the product is fine, you can keep placing this on the market, and it's completely fine. That's why that is the legal requirement after the product is placed on the market, where we need to keep updated every documentation that we have in the PIF, including the safety assessment, the cosmetic product safety report. Yeah.
And to get even more specific about that, does that relate to what the dispenser is made out of? Say if the manufacturer of the cosmetic has already done a safety test for, say, a dispenser made out of cornstarch plastic, and I come along with a dispenser made out of cornstarch plastic, but it has a different shape to the one the manufacturer has. Is that all right once the substance is the same? It doesn't matter what shape it is.
Yeah, but that depends on what your safety assessor recommends, because it's right. If it is the same material, it's okay. Fair enough. We can read across. But sometimes if the open close system is different, you can have lack of, weight loss. And that is not good for the cosmetic, because then won't be the formula that you already put there. Will be another thing that we don't know.
Yeah.
And that's why, needs to be carry out a compatibility test, or if the safety assessor is happy reading across with the testing that you already have done, is fine. They can conclude that it's safe, but that must be in the product information file for sure. Yeah.
And that's great. My second question then relates to online sales, where potentially someone in any part of the world can buy your product. How do you know what regulations you have to abide by in Argentina?
Well, that is a good question.
Yeah.
The things, from my understanding, what you need to be sure is that your product is aligned with the legislation that is your target, as the main target that you think of will be. And in that regard, will be fine for the EU, but should be good. Have a look of the Argentinian legislation to be sure that we are aligned there as well.
Yeah. See, the issue is potentially anyone in any country on earth can buy your product. So then you have to really be aligned with every regulatory framework.
Yes. Yes, but
I doubt anyone is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, none of them can work anyway, because it's so difficult to follow all of the legislation. But yes, that will be my recommendation. If you have the target, like will be China and the EU, maybe what you need to be compliant is with these two legislation, even though you have 2 or 3 consumers from another country, is what I can think. Yeah.
Okay, that's perfect. Thanks a million.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Kieran. And Patricia, Paolo's got a nice big question for you. What are the key challenges in an industry that is always looking at the next big trend or the next big communication for their consumers?
Okay. Okay. Yeah, well, challenge is they are when the consumers, the RP are so creative because the consumer they are as well, and they want to put all claims there in the packaging that maybe they are not allowed to put there because it's a trendy thing. I mean, it's like, for example, now this is gluten-free. Okay, it is gluten-free, but I mean, that is a claim that is can be useful for the food industry. For cosmetic, it's like really not make sense because I mean the gluten is not absorbed by the skin, and then that kind of situation is when we need to be, aware how we can address that. But I don't know if I answer your question, Paola.
Yeah, I mean, look, certainly from having spoken to a lot of cosmetic companies, that whole piece around R&D and claims and, getting that message across is really important. And certainly we'd have seen it quite a bit on different cosmetic products over the years in terms of those kinds of claims that aren't really relevant, but resonate with consumers. And therefore there's a bit of kind of, not exactly greenwashing, but putting claims on that maybe that aren't as relevant, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Thanks, Patricia. Any other questions just before we wrap up? No. Okay, look, it just leaves me to thank Aoife and Neil for organising the event today, to all the people who attended, and obviously in particular Patricia for taking the time to share all your knowledge with us around regulations. It's much appreciated. And so we'll be putting this recording up on YouTube over the next couple of days. So for anybody who wasn't able to be here in person, we'll have the recording available. So listen, thanks very much, everyone, and thanks, Patricia, again. And I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.